Greetings to everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, today I would like us to do revision on quadratic theory. And talking about quadratic theory, here we will look at how to form equations from given roots to form new quadratic equation. We have here given that alpha and beta are the roots of the quadratic equation x squared plus 2x minus 4 equal to 0. Form a quadratic equation whose roots are alpha plus 1 over alpha and beta plus 1 over beta. Now, each time that we are asked to form new roots, the very first thing is to obtain the sum of roots and the product of roots from that main equation. So if the roots are alpha and beta, we have alpha plus beta equal to negative b over a. Now from our equation, what's alpha? What's our b? Our b is 2. So we have negative 2 divided by 1, which is negative 2. And our alpha plus beta is c over a. So here we have our c. From this equation, c, the constant, negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 1, which gives us negative 4. So we have obtained our sum and product of roots from the main equation itself. That's the first thing we must do. Now, next is that we have to form a quadratic equation whose roots are alpha plus 1 over alpha and beta plus 1 over beta. Okay, so we have here the sum of new roots. The sum of new roots here, we are going to have alpha plus 1 over alpha plus the other root beta plus 1 over beta. Now, looking at this, there are several approaches because we have put it in mind that we have alpha plus beta and we equally have alpha beta. So we have here, we group them alpha plus beta here, alpha plus beta plus, now you have 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta. Now, there is always a tendency that you have students to start mixing this alpha. No, this is a fraction. This one is fraction. Meanwhile, this one apart. This one gives us alpha plus beta. We maintain it. Okay. Now here, the LCM of alpha and beta is alpha beta. That's the product of the denominator. Alpha beta divided by alpha is beta. Beta times 1 beta. Alpha beta divided by beta gives us alpha. Alpha times 1 alpha. So that said, when you have that information, you are able to obtain our sum of new roots, knowing that alpha plus beta is negative 2 plus beta plus alpha is the same as alpha plus beta, that's negative 2 divided by alpha beta, negative 4. So we have here negative 2 plus half, which gives us negative 3 over 2. Okay. Now, we equally have to obtain the product, because that's very important when we are forming. We have to obtain the product of roots. And our product of roots here will simply be product of new roots, right? We had alpha plus 1 over alpha times beta plus 1 over beta, which we have to simplify. Alpha times beta, alpha beta, alpha times 1 over beta, alpha times 1 alpha, then over beta. Now 1 over alpha times beta gives us beta over alpha. 1 over alpha times 1 over beta is 1 over alpha beta. So that said, we are going to see when we are able to write it in this form, right? We have alpha beta, we have 1 over alpha beta. How then do we express this form? We have to express that form so much so that we can obtain our value in terms of product and sum. Now here, the LCM of beta and alpha, we obtain it is alpha beta. Alpha beta divided by beta is alpha. Alpha times alpha, alpha square. Plus alpha beta divided by alpha beta. Beta times beta, beta square. Plus 1 over alpha beta. When you do it in this form, you start seeing all the necessary ingredients needed for us to have the answer for the product of roots. Now, we know the alpha square. We know our alpha square here. We know that our alpha square here is needed here in this example here, knowing the value of alpha and that of beta. Okay. So how then do we obtain the? Okay, now when we are able to obtain this, we have our alpha plus beta. What was our alpha plus beta? If you obtain alpha plus beta, or yes, alpha plus beta -2, then alpha beta -4. So we have here from our expression alpha beta is -4 plus, okay, here we know that we are to obtain this, but before that let's even obtain our alpha square. Alpha square plus beta square, is alpha plus beta, all that square minus 2 alpha beta. Okay, now we obtain the value of alpha plus beta here, -2. Alpha plus beta -2, and alpha beta is -4. So 2 into -4, we have here -2 square is 4. 4 -2 times -4, 8. So 4 plus 2 here gives us 12. So our product of new roots will be alpha beta, that's -4, plus alpha square plus beta square, 12, divided by alpha beta -4 plus 1 over alpha beta. Here we have here -4 plus -3, -7 minus 1 over 4. So it gives us -29 over 4. Having obtained our product of new roots and our sum of new roots, we can now write our equation. Remember that general quadratic equation is x squared minus sum of new roots x plus product of new roots equal to 0. Now, let's see how we obtain the sum of new roots. The sum of new roots was -3 over 2. -3 over 2 x squared minus -3 over 2x plus product -29 over 4 equal to 0. We have here negative, here positive, negative. Multiply through by 4. We are going to have 4x squared plus 6x minus 29 equal to what? 0. That is our required quadratic equation that we formed. Alright, thank you. Please like, subscribe, share.